Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our Summer Exchange webinar series. Today we have Robert Hernandez, Channel Sales Specialist from Mimaki, and he is going to talk about the Mimaki JV100 Eco-Solvent printer. Simple, capable, and cost-effective. Robert?
Again, Robert Mimaki, and we're going to be talking about the JV100, the JV100 160 more specifically, a 64-inch printer. We'll go over some details later on, but really, who is Mimaki? And I'm going to share my screen here, and we'll talk a little bit about Mimaki, and then we'll get into the JV100 Eco-Solvent printer. So we're looking at the Mimaki company profile. Basically, if you can see here, Mimaki is a pioneer in the development of digital printing and cutting products worldwide. The company has engineered and manufactured a complete line of digital printers and cutters and offers a total workflow solution for many applications found in design and graphics, textile, and apparel and industrial markets. Mimaki develops the complete product range for each group: hardware, software, and the associated consumables, items such as inks and cutting blades. Mimaki excels in offering innovative, high-quality, reliable printer products using a variety of technologies, including latex, eco-solvent, solvent, aqueous dye sublimation, solvent UV, and UV LED. Keep in mind, some of these technologies are used throughout the world. Not all the products are offered here in the United States. So as you're looking at the website, if you're looking at the global website, which is the Mimaki.com, some of those products are not offered in the US. So if you're looking for products in the US, please take a look at the MimakiUSA.com website, and you have a list of what's being offered here in the US. So moving on to the next slide here. 1 second. There we go. Are we at the company story?
Yes, sir.
All right. So company story, Mimaki USA opened its Atlanta headquarters office back in 1999 and grew its presence in the US to several locations. Today, it operates technology centers in or near major metropolitan centers, including Atlanta, Boston, Milwaukee, Dallas, Los Angeles, North Jersey, and Toronto. So Mimaki Engineering Company, Ltd. is based and operates out of the Tomi City, Nagano, Japan. At Mimaki, we believe that our customers should have confidence that the engines of their business efficiently deliver consistently outstanding results. Mimaki printers include core technologies that offer you peace of mind by including features that reduce exposure to certain risks that can delay or halt production. So basically, Mimaki, for your small business, Mimaki wants to be an engine that's driving your revenue. So when you're buying equipment and it's taking up that space in your shop, that it's going to pay for itself, that it's not just sitting there taking up space and not generating revenue for you. So it's Mimaki's goal to have an efficient equipment, not from the hardware side, but from the software side and what it can produce for you and for your end users. So some history with Mimaki, we've been known for industry firsts, over 40 years of achievements, going back to the 80s, cutting plotter technology, inkjet printer technology, getting to sublimation, and you might not see it on this here, but into 3D technologies. Also with some of the new equipment that's come out recently, the 330 Eco-Solvent 330 series. We've combined a lot of basically the pet peeves or the small things that makes the end users life challenging with equipment. We try to listen to the end users through our dealer network, through Tube Light, and try to resolve some of these bottlenecks in the workflow. And through Mimaki's product line and offering, you'll see that we've really helped help the end users to get there and be able to be more productive with their equipment. Some of the technology centers, if you're not aware, in the geography, in the Southeast, we have the Atlanta Technology Center. A Tube Light will leverage and to help you, the end user, with sample validating applications, setting up virtual demos. If you're not sure about the equipment, you want to see it run, we can do something virtually for you, or we can host you there at our center. So we have them throughout the country, but the one for the Southeast is the one that's located really in Suwanee, Georgia. So if you need to see some equipment, you're more than welcome to come out there, and we'll definitely host you and take care of you. So, and then in these different locations throughout the U.S. So why Mimaki? So, as I explained earlier, the core technologies, we're continually working on core technologies, and these technologies basically focus in three areas, the quality of the print, the production, and the workflow to help with getting the product out the most efficient way, and saving money. So some of these core technologies like dot adjustment, that's basically on the fly drop positioning, waveform, have to do more technology with the quality and processing the drops of ink. We have variable dot technology in different size picoliter dots, so we can really squeeze all these dots together to create a nice tight pattern for the quality, so it avoids the graininess. And Mimaki bulk ink systems, also uninterrupted ink systems. So if you're running double CMYK, it'll go through the 4 liters or the 4 cartridges, and it knows to swap to the one next to it. So you can keep on printing. You can hot swap while the machine is printing in double CMYK. Different technologies to help you be more productive. Basically focusing on quality, reliability, productivity, and value. Some of the features of this JV100 160. So the JV100 has been out for about maybe 2 years now. It's part of our 100 series. We call it entry level because compared to some of our like JV300 or JV330, is not as fast, and also some of the capabilities as compared to some of the more advanced units, but still it's a 2-head machine, and it has a lot of capabilities. Eco-Solvent, you have 600 milliliter cartridges. It can use SS21 ink, or it can use more cost-effective AS5 ink. These pinch rollers, selectable pinch rollers going across the whole area there of the platen. The Mimaki advanced pass system, the maps, we'll go over that a little bit later on. The dot adjustment system is automatic, so there's a sensor that will recognize the media and do that drop position for you. Ethernet connectivity, communication, also USB. And then the nozzle check, we'll go through that later on, but that's included with this machine, and that's a production feature to keep you going, and we'll cover that in a little bit. The take-up system, the Mimaki intelligent heaters, there's 3 heaters there. You got a the one that's during the printing, and then the post to kind of help in that curing process with the Eco-Solvent inks. Keep in mind, they do need the off gas, so there's some drying time there involved, but this helps the process so that it can get you to that post-process of lamination, and you can work with the material sooner. So basically, this is your layout of the machine. On the right-hand side, where it says Mimaki, that's where you have your heads station, your capping station. Real simple to maintain. There's a panel right there that you can access the capping station. The machine, the heads will travel to the left side where it says JV100. You can pop that open and clean the heads. Real simple, not much to as far as the maintenance. On the right-hand side by the panel, there's a slot for the cleaning solution. You pop that in there, and it's ready to go. So if you leave the machine on, it will go through its circulation of the inks. So really, the maintenance is very simple in this machine. And some of the features here, as I mentioned, it's a 64-inch machine, the media width 63.3, max resolution, you have 1200 DPI, very small picoliter size, 4 picoliters. Like I mentioned before, you got variable dots, so it can, the smallest dot would be 4 picoliters, and then you might have the small dot, the medium dot, and the large dot, and they all works together to give you some better quality there. 2 print heads. You got some production speed there, about 425 square feet. Keep in mind, this is in double CMYK configuration. The ink that is using, they mentioned here mild solvent. It is an Eco-Solvent ink, so the VOCs, the volatile organic compounds, is very low. It's not like the old days with the solvents, like, man, I gotta get out of here, I need some ventilation or whatever. These inks they don't have, I call it the aroma. It's not as strong as back in the day. So keep that in mind. These are Eco-Solvent ink, and we also have the optional, or the AS5 ink that you can use as well with this one here, and it's a little bit more cost effective, the ink. And you can see the 4-color configuration or 8-color configuration. We'll go over that in a little bit. But you have 600 milliliter, or you can go and go with the optional bulk ink system and do the 2-liter bottles or actually bags of ink for higher production. Some of the core technologies that I mentioned here, the DOS, the NCU, and NRS. Key features: Ethernet capabilities to communicate across multiple devices. With RasterLink 7, you can hook up to 4 machines on RasterLink via that Ethernet. So if you have, the machines, down the shop there, and you have a design center or a machine that's going to be driving it, you can move it across the workshop. Expanding a little bit on the nozzle check unit and nozzle recovery system. Basically, you can see the diagram right there. It's going to try to clean a nozzle. If there's an issue with the nozzle, because it's monitoring the drops as it jets the drop. It goes through a sensor, basically, and then it's looking for those drops. If it does not see the drop, it's going to try to clean that nozzle, and if it can't clean it, it's going to take it to the next nozzle, and it's going to map. More importantly, it's going to map automatically that bad nozzle, so you can keep on working, keep on printing with quality, and not having to pause or stop the machine in order to map that nozzle. And that's a competitive edge there compared to some of the other equipment machines out there. It does it automatically. Drop adjustment system, just to cover that a little bit more. Printer can quickly perform standard adjustment speed, drop position, reduces labor because you're not doing it manually, improves image quality, improves consistency, and repeat work. Down the bottom there, Mimaki Advanced Pass System. Basically, as it scans across, you're blending those that printed image across the scanning area. Just a gradation of color as it goes from a lower gradation to a higher gradation, and it transitions over to the next pass. It kind of blends that, so you avoid that banding that you might see from just moving across to the next scan and not blending the two together. The variable dot technology, like I mentioned earlier, large, medium, and small dots, 4 picoliter dot, real small. Uninterrupted ink supply system. If you have the 4 cartridges, again, double CMYK, or in the bulking system in those, to go to the next available cartridge, and then you can hot swap while it's printing and replace that cartridge, or 2-liter bag. Some of the competitive advantages here is also print speed. You can see here compared to some of the machines out there in high quality production and high speed. For an entry-level machine, compared to some of the others, we're doing pretty good there, getting up to between 600 and 700 square feet an hour at different resolutions, high quality production and high speed. A 4-color configuration, again, that's double CMYK. Some of the ink configurations, you can see here the 4-color for both 600 milliliters or 600 cc's. You can see the double CMYK or light cyan, light magenta, light black, or orange. Same configuration for the AS5 inks. The SS21 is a Green Guard certified ink, meaning that it's been certified by UL, the Underwriters Laboratory here in the US. So, and that's for certified to have those low VOCs, volatile organic compounds. And that information on the inks you can find on Mimaki.com on the label, and you'll see the certifications on there. And if you need safety data sheets, it's on that Mimaki global site as well. The environment itself, the install environment, typical, right, for these machines. You have, between the 68 and the 86 degree Fahrenheit. You can see the for the humidity there, the range 35 to 65, and kind of the footprint there. Basically, what you have your 500 millimeters, across, and then the space. I'm not sure what it says there in Japanese, but we can do the math later. But typical 64-inch printer footprint. So, with that said, it's kind of like a run through of the JV100 system. As I mentioned earlier, simple system to install, to set up, to run, the various types of application with Eco-Solvent, with the SS21 ink or the AS5 ink. And what are we looking at right now at Mimaki? We're running a promotion for this bundle deal here with the JV100 160, a 64-inch printer, and a 64-inch laminator. You can see what the MSRP was looking at there. And then we have this rebate. And then we're also including the SAI Flexi Design Mimaki Edition. And then we have it as a standalone, just the machine by itself with the Flexi. And with that said, we do have, I believe we have a Flexi member here, Mr. Bobby Cagle, that has joined us today, and he'll go over a little bit more of how Mimaki has partnered up with SAI Flexi to provide this design software. Bobby, you'd like to share a little bit?
Yeah, thanks, Robert. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Perfect. All right. Well, what we did is we went to Mimaki and felt like that Mimaki made a lot of sense for us to partner with, because Mimaki has a really good rip with the Rasterlink rip, but they did not really have any entry-level design program to be able to create the job. Because once you have the printer, that's great, but how do you make the job to send to the printer? And that's where Flexi comes in. So I wanted to share my screen a little bit here real quick, just to kind of show you what we've done with the Mimaki edition here. Let me do that. So you should be able to see my screen right here real quick. And then let me clear this contour cut. So I've got a design here, and if you want to add a contour cut to any kind of design or something like that inside of Flexi, all you basically do is select it, go to Effects, go to Contour Cut, and it'll add the cut. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, exactly what you want to do. And once you're ready, you click the check mark. And then at this point, if you want to print this on the JV100 and then cut it out on a Mimaki cutter, say a CGAR or an FX2 Plus, anything like that, well, from here, you're going to add registration marks to it. Really easy. Select your file right there, click Contour Cut Marks. It adds the Mimaki marks right there, and it's ready to go. So now all we do is send this to Rasterlink. And when you have that, now I actually have 300 on here, not the 100, but it pretty much is going to be the same thing. And I'm not going to include the contour cut paths because I don't want the printer to do the cutting. I just send that there, and then basically it's going to take it, bring it into Rasterlink, and your job shows up right here in the Rasterlink print queue. We're going to print that out of Rasterlink just like you would normally would. And then when you're done, you basically just come back into Flexi, and we have a button that says Cut Contour. You hit that, it brings this up, it shows the contour cut. You can tell it which cutter you want it to send it to. You send it, you put your job in the cutter, it reads the registration marks and cuts it out. So that's a very easy workflow process for doing the print cut graphics. And it does a lot more than that. We've got things like auto serialization. It can create Braille for those that are getting a UV printer or something like that. But we just wanted to make sure that Mimaki had the ability to have an entry-level design software that went with their printer. Now, you get this free for the first year. It comes free with the printer for the first year. Now, after the first year, it is a subscription-based product, but it is going to be much less than our standard subscription yearly product. So I believe the price is going to be $599 a year after the first year. If you decide you don't want it after the first year, you just don't sign up for it, and then you can use whatever other design software you would like to. But at least this gets you up and going and designing in that first year. So, Robert, that's kind of what I wanted to show on this. Was there anything that you think I need to add to this, or I think that pretty much covers the basic things of what this software does?
No, I think that works for a simple. I mean, I know there's a lot more that we can do with this Mimaki edition, but just to be able to get that out there and work with this program as a design for an entry-level person, and maybe is not used to working with Adobe or something else, that they can, use this to get going along with the Mimaki Rip Station. So definitely a good partnership to be able to do this. So thank you, Bobby. I really appreciate your input. So we're going to go into a little bit of Q&A.
Hey, Robert, I've been keeping an eye on the Q&A tab, and no questions have been submitted yet. So you gentlemen did a fantastic job explaining everything, I guess.
I hear you. Well, I know there was some questions maybe out there concerning AS5 ink. The AS5 ink for this JV100, when it was produced, there were some questions about it. People weren't sure about the AS5 ink, and well, should I go with SS21 ink? The SS21 ink, if you're wrapping vehicles and you need something a little bit more durable, and you're looking for a higher quality product and a higher value, you're going to charge more for it. You got your SS21. If you're looking for a cost-effective solution, you're doing simple graphics, temporary graphics, you got that workflow going on. You're looking forward to work on that ROI and the ink. The AS5 is a great option to get the basic graphics out there. So for your entry level user that's doing basic decals, maybe paired up with one of our Mimaki cutters, as Bobby mentioned, and the Flexi solution, the AS5 ink really gets you going. And if down the road, you want to take it up to the SS21, you can get together with Tube Light and work something out, and maybe have the machine flushed and upgrade to the SS21. But definitely the AS5 ink has done really well over the years. Haven't really heard of many complaints with it. But again, it really depends on where you're at starting out in the business, where you want to be with that ink. So
okay. Hey, Robert, there was one question, but I think you kind of just touched on it. The question was, how has the AS5 performed over the years?
Yes, yeah, definitely. It's performed well. We have it out there running in production, and I just know for those businesses that are just doing basic graphics, that maybe they're printing on adhesive vinyl and transferring over to do political signs or simple graphics, temporary stuff, or even some internal signage. It's worked out well, and you're saving I think around 15%. But that's something that you can get together with Tube Light, your Tube Light rep, and discuss if the AS5 solution is for you.
Robert, one other quick question is,
sure.
Both the SS21 and the AS5, are they both available in both sizes?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can go with the bulk, definitely, and the same color ink sets in the light. light cyan, light magenta, light black and orange, or the double CMYK. Any more questions? Comments?
No, that's all the questions that were submitted. But as we talk about questions, always remember you can always reach out to your Tube Light Denko territory sales rep and
Definitely.
with any question, and they'll get back to you very quickly.
There we go. Well, again, I want to thank Tube Light Denko, Tara for setting this up. I appreciate your time, and let's do it again next time.
Absolutely. We'd like to thank Robert Hernandez with Mimaki and also Bobby Cagle with Flexi for presenting today. And thank everyone for joining our summer webinar series.
Definitely. Thank you. All right, everyone. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.